Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So for today's video, I actually have almost a full face of affordable drugstore makeup products. So I applied everything on my face because I know a lot of you have been wanting to see me try more affordable makeup. So most of these products I actually received in PR from Walmart, which is kind of funny that Walmart actually noticed me. But yeah, so I just wanted to test them out with you guys. So if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps on my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And let's just get right into the video. I'm gonna start off with this L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I've never tried it before, but I know it's like super popular. And I have mine in the shade Fair Glow. This is probably like, well, I don't know if that's too much. I'm just gonna use my hand, but ooh. So this is like a Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter alternative or dupe, whatever you want to call it. And you guys can see that glow that it's giving. It also feels really nice. It just feels like a moisturizer, like not too heavy, and it like sinks into the skin pretty easily. So my skin is looking very glowy right now. So far I'm really liking this, but let's move on to the base. So I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. Apparently it's full coverage natural finish. And since this was gifted to me, I think it's not exactly the right shade, but it's like similar enough. So we're gonna make it work. This is Fair 140W, so I feel like it's a little bit yellow. Oh no. Okay, that is actually very yellow. Like, this is one of the most yellow skin products I've ever had. But you know what? Maybe that's just because I'm used to using more neutral to cooler tone products. Wait, let's just see how this blends out, shall we? I'm just gonna put it on this half of my face first. Actually, as I'm blending it out, it looks a lot better. Like, a lot better. But yeah, just like opaquely, it looks very yellow on me. Okay, so I only applied it on this half, and actually, I quite like it so far. It feels pretty good. Like, I don't feel it on the skin, and I feel like it did like blur the pores in this area. And as you can see, like, I have a lot of darkness around my eyes. Like, this part is especially dark, and it just like totally evened that out. And I also have redness and stuff. And yeah, it just like totally blanked that out. So it is pretty full coverage. It says it's full coverage. So I would say like, yeah, it's like a pretty like medium to full, I would say. Also didn't use that much product, and it's already like pretty full. Yeah, but do we see how like that, like that does not look like it matches my skin. But like when it blends out, it looks really good. So maybe it's just because it's not like a fully, yeah, see, as I'm blending it, like it looks perfectly fine once I blend it. But it's like right when I first apply it, it looks so yellow. Like it's very strange. But anyways, I think we're good. Okay, so far I actually quite like how the base is looking. I was scared at first, but it actually works very well. So onto concealer, which I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And again, this is in the shade Fair Warm, so it's probably going to be a little bit warm, but we'll make it work again. Actually, so this shade I think is better. I'll swatch it on my hand. So this is the concealer, and it is warm, but it's definitely a lot more neutral than the CC cream. Like, they're both warm, but definitely I like the concealer shade a lot more. And I think this is a Tarte Shape Tape dupe. But this one is the hydrating version, so it's more satin and it's not like super matte. I definitely blended out nicely. I'm just gonna blend it out. I let it sit for a little. It didn't dry down too fast, because some concealers dry down really fast and you can't like let them sit like that. Also, sorry if the lighting goes in and out. It's because the sun keeps changing. I'll let you guys know in the description like how it holds up, because I like how it looks, although it is kind of settling into some of my fine lines, so I will have to set it. Yeah, like the base is looking pretty perfected, so I can see why these are like hyped up products. Okay, sorry, I changed the lighting because the sun kept going in and out, so it made it look really weird. So I just closed the blinds. But anyways, now we're gonna go into bronzer, and we're using the e.l.f. Putty bronzer. So again, I haven't tried this before, but I heard this is a great bronzer, and I have it in the shade Honey Drip. So as you may know, if you've been watching my channel, I'm not like the biggest bronzer fan. I prefer like contour, but sometimes in the summer, I guess, I like a little bit of bronzer just for the summer vibes. Okay, so far I can tell this is pretty like buildable. I like that it's not too pigmented. It has a really nice, easily buildable pigment, and it is definitely a bronzer, so it's a little bit like more warm on me. But again, it's not too orange. It's like a really good neutral bronze shade. So far I'm really impressed with these e.l.f. products. I definitely get the sense that they're like one of the best at the drugstore. Let me know which brand is your favorite at the drugstore, because like this is blending super easily. It's very seamless. I'm quite impressed. Like honestly, it's better than some higher end ones. But also, I'm not like the bronzer queen. I'm definitely more of a blush person. I'm just gonna add a little to the nose. Technically you should use contour for this, but I'm too lazy to like legit contour, so we're just gonna add some like this. But yeah, like I love how it looks super natural. It's like one with the skin. You can see that glow coming through from the Lumi Glotion. Like, okay, e.l.f. That's actually really nice. So now let's go into liquid blush. We have the Maybelline Cheek Heat. It's called a sheer gel cream blush. I'm just gonna put it on my hand first. I have mine in the shade 15 Nude Burn. It's actually a really pretty shade. So this is what it looks like on my hand, and I'm just gonna, like, look at that color. It looks like it has a good formula, but we'll see. Definitely the gel cream description is really accurate. It literally feels like a gel cream. I'm just gonna use a stippling brush and I'm just gonna like take it on my hand like that. I'm gonna put it on my face. Okay, so far really pretty. I'm pretty sure this is a Glossier Cloud Paint dupe. So I used to own a bunch of the Cloud Paints. I really liked them, but they were just never my favorite. I don't really understand the hype around Glossier that much. Like, they're not bad, but this blush is really pretty. Wait, this shade? It's the perfect like nude pink. And I like that it actually is like a little bit on the cooler side, but like as you can see on me, it turns warmer. Like you can see that, right? Like it looks a little bit more mauve-y on my hand. So yeah, it is like an interesting formula. I would say it's pretty similar to the Glossier. And I think I applied way too much on the side. Don't mind me. Just me casually like applying way too much blush. We're gonna have to fix that. So I'm just gonna take my sponge. This is what you do if you over apply blush. You just take the sponge. Okay, but I will say I don't recommend using a sponge because the sponge kind of made it a little bit patchy. So yeah, you can avoid this by just not applying too much in the first place. Yeah, actually the patchiness was pretty easy to fix. I just like went over it with a tiny bit more product and that covered it up. So it does have like a dry down, which is really nice for a cream blush because it like has a setting quality, which means it's gonna actually like stick on your face. And it's not like sticky or dewy feeling, but it gives a nice like glow. Love that. So anyways, I actually want to go in with a powder blush on top, and we're gonna use this Revlon blush in the shade Tickled Pink. I think this is supposed to be like a Kylie blush dupe. Anyway, you guys know I love my cool tone pink, so I knew I was gonna love this. I'm just gonna apply it like on a really loose fluffy brush because I don't want to add too much pigment. So we're just gonna set it with this. I honestly really often do this kind of method where I use a cream blush and then a powder blush, and I'm looking a little crazy right now. So that one's actually pretty pigmented as well. And it's usually more pigmented because it has like the cream blush to attach to, which makes it more pigmented. So I'm just again going over with my sponge and kind of toning everything down. But yeah, that one, I really like that blush actually. I do admit that I sleep on drugstore products because I do kind of care about packaging, even though it doesn't like have anything to do with the function, but I just like looking at pretty things. So like, I'm sorry, but like this packaging is not my fave, but the product inside is really great. So let me swatch it for you guys. It's this shade and it's so beautiful. It's like a cool pink. It's a cool petal pink, but it's not as like neon or purple undertone as the Dior one or the Kylie Winter Kiss. It's not as purple, but it's still a really great blush. And if you like those kind of like Kylie or Dior pink cheek looks, this is a great alternative. Actually, the formula is very nice too. It's like a silky powder when I swatched it. Okay, so that's how the cheeks are looking and they're stunning. I also love how like the glow from the cream blush and also the Lumi Glotion is really coming through. And it's just giving me like that natural, like really pretty dewy look. So anyways, now I'm gonna set my face, but I don't have a drugstore powder. So I'm just gonna use my regular Huda Beauty one. And I have to set my under eyes. Let me know what drugstore powder is good. I think I heard the Maybelline one is good. Like Maybelline Fit Me. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I got this NYX Ultimate eyeshadow palette. And this is in the shade Warm Neutrals, which I probably personally like wouldn't have bought in this color story. But I'm sure they have other palettes that are like cool neutrals and other types of shades. I'm gonna go in actually with this most cool tone shade. So they actually do have a good variety of like, they have some cool tones and then like some really warm tones. I feel like this palette was definitely geared towards like people who just prefer like everyday makeup, like no fuss. You definitely can't go wrong with this palette. Anyways, I would say these aren't super pigmented, but they definitely are buildable, like building up quite nicely. But I do have to like tap the brush in multiple times to get this pigment, which is very different from like Pat McGrath and stuff like that. But that's to be expected because why would I get Pat McGrath if NYX has Pat McGrath level, you know what I mean? So I guess like more similar to K-beauty type of palettes. Like I'm used to that, but if you like only like super highly pigmented stuff, then you're probably not gonna like this NYX palette, but it is really easy to use. Okay, now that I think about it, it might be trying to dupe ABH Modern Renaissance. I mean, it's definitely not the same, but like it's like those reddish tones, and then it has like this weird cool tone shade, which is also an ABH Modern Renaissance. Yeah, because all these products I sent are supposed to be like dupes of something, but they didn't say what the something is because they're not like legally allowed to say, I think. So I'm trying to like guess. So I think this is ABH Modern Renaissance. You guys can let me know. Okay, I'm gonna try to add some of this shimmer here. It's more like a taupey shade, so we're gonna try the shimmers. To be honest, they look kind of lackluster in the pan, but we're just gonna try it out. And I always use my finger with shimmers. Okay, yeah, so it's about what I expected, Like, it's a nice satiny kind of metallic shade. Definitely not for those who want like super high impact. But again, I feel like that's not who this palette is targeted towards. But yeah, it's not super shimmery. It's like a satin. But anyways, that's good enough because I want to add this product that I bought myself. And this is the NYX Ultimate Glow Shot. So I made a TikTok of this and it was like my most viral TikTok ever. So y'all seem to really like this. And I really like it too. It's actually really good for going makeup looks because like they like to do like different glitter liners and stuff, and this is like the perfect drugstore dupe for that. So I'm just gonna put some on my hand, and the glitters, it's like so glittery and reflective. This isn't applied super opaquely, but like when you blend it out, it has like all these micro shimmery sparkles. You guys see that, right? And it just looks wet. So you can use that as a liner, you can use it as like an all over glittery topper shade. It's very versatile and it's at the drugstore, so I can see why it was viral. But anyways, I'm gonna try to use it on my eye look today because y'all know I can't do anything without glitter. I wanna put this on my under eyes first. So I'm not applying it directly because sometimes it applies like too much. Like the applicator, I would say, is not the best. So it's better to not apply it directly. But anyways, I just wanted to briefly talk about the situation right now that's taking the beauty world by storm, which is the lash gate situation. And I don't want to like stoke the fire or anything, but I just wanted to let you all know my 2 cents because it's like all over my For You page, and I've seen some really bad takes, so I wanted to see what you guys think. My first thought was obviously that like I was kind of disappointed in that creator just because she is like a super big creator in this space, and like whatever she does obviously affects other creators as well. Like I feel like generally speaking there's going to be less trust in influencers, but also like this cycle also happened on YouTube here, so I'm not like super shook or anything. Also I'm doing a little fake cut crease kind of thing. But anyways, the biggest problem that I have with what this creator did was just that she like blatantly lied, which I've almost like never seen. Like obviously I know some things in marketing and stuff are exaggerations, but to blatantly lie is another story, and then to like double down on it when people like ask about it was also kind of shocking. Like I do think that was a mistake, but you know, people can live and learn from mistakes, hopefully. And I hope she realizes that like, you know, her actions have effects on like other people, like other influencers who are much smaller than her. Like now people, I feel like in general, just be like really suspicious of influencers, which I think you should always be skeptical to a degree, but I'm just saying like definitely like hurts the whole beauty community. It should all be based on like trust and honesty. Like that's the whole point of like influencing in general, is because like we don't trust commercials and like those marketing and big corporations, whatever. So then we look to influencers to give us like the real tea on the products. But then if you're lying about that, it's just like, it defeats the point of influencing. Also, sorry, my thoughts are all like jumbled up about this, but like I saw a lot of smaller creators who were upset by it because it just like affects our reputation in general. And also not this situation bringing out like every OG like YouTuber and influencer like from the depths of like wherever they were. If you know, you know, but like Jeffree Star, like why is that man coming back? I'm just saying like not these people coming out of nowhere and like coming back just because of this. I think if she just like, you know, comes out clean and says like, I'm so sorry, like I did this, at least the reasonable people would like hopefully forgive and move on. But the thing is like she hasn't said anything yet. But I understand that there's always gonna be like those haters who like no matter what she says or does, like people are just gonna hate on her, which is the downside of influencing. But anyways, I do think like that she does need to be held accountable and that she should just like apologize. I feel like that's what at least the reasonable criticism people want. Now what I don't get is I see some people having really bad takes on this where they're like, oh, it's just a mascara, so it doesn't even matter. And I'm like, guys, let's not go down this rabbit hole of like, oh, it's just this, it's just that. Like that's a very slippery slope. And like I could say that about like any issue that's not like a major world ending issue, you know. It's like oh, boys will be boys, or like it's like that kind of reasoning, which really triggers me. Like it's just such a bad comeback, I feel like, to be like, oh, it doesn't matter, like why are you talking about this, because there are bigger, more important topics. Like it's very whataboutism. Like once you bring up an issue, they're like, oh, what about like this other bigger issue? Like we can talk about multiple issues, okay? So I just find it very dismissive and like invalidating when people say that when you bring up like any criticism about anything, because like some things deserve to be criticized. Now you shouldn't go like hating on this person. Like I don't know her as a person, so I can't speak to like her character beyond this scenario. I don't and never have supported cyberbullying, but it's just like at the same time, like trying to hold someone accountable and like calling them out for their actions is not cyberbullying. if you say it the right way. So it just like shocks me that people are like, oh my god, it's just mascara, like why are we talking about this? Like I feel like it's a pretty big issue like in the marketing world and the makeup world. I feel like honesty and integrity are pretty like important things to talk about. Obviously they're not the most important, like there's other bigger issues in the world, but that doesn't mean that we can't talk about smaller issues. Like I never understand that reasoning. It's so like messed up to me. And then the other really terrible take I've heard is like, oh, big corporations like lie to your face all the time. In mascara ads, like they put false lashes. Like clearly corporations lying to us isn't great either, but the corporation and the influencer, like individual influencers, is not, these are not equivalent. Like you can't apply the same rules. So, like that's what's shocking to me, because it's like I feel like people are making really false equivalencies. Like I saw this really viral video that was like, yeah, so like all these like big brands lie to you, so like you should be calling out the big brands instead of this mascara gate influencer. I'm like, again, this is like super dismissive of like any actual issues, because as I said earlier, the whole point of influencers was to counteract this kind of like fake commercial type of marketing. Like influencers arose because people want to see like real reviews and real swatches, which you can't get from a commercial. So like, yeah, we know that big corporations have been lying to us, but like why does big corporations lying to us mean that now influencers can lie to us? Like the connection is not making sense. And I've also seen other influencers be like, oh, everyone lies a little bit, so it's like okay. I'm like, I think y'all are exposing yourselves. I don't know about you, but since when is like lying and like having no integrity just like blatantly okay? Like I'm sure everyone has lied in their life, but we should acknowledge that that's not a good thing to lie, especially not in like these bigger scenarios where it's very important to be honest. Like a white lie is a totally different category, you know what I mean? And the fact that people are like, oh my god, like every influencer lies, so it's fine. Who is everyone? Who is everyone? Like don't include me in that. Oh yeah, and also for like the big corporations lie take, it's still not equivalent, because like in those mascara ads where they add false lashes, they literally say at the bottom like lash enhancements were added or something. Like they literally have to disclose that. So I think it's perfectly fine for that creator to add the false lashes as long as she discloses it. Like that's the issue. That's the issue that some people aren't getting, I feel like. It's literally just about doing things and being honest and then taking accountability for the things that you did, which I don't get why there's backlash about that. Like there's backlash to the backlash. Like the only thing I get is like where obviously you shouldn't like hate on this person. I'll never condone hate, and even like constructive criticism, some people just say it in like a really rude way, even if the criticism itself is valid. So I do think like there has to be more nuanced takes. Like I do think she did something wrong, but also I don't think you can like say it in a way where it's like very rude and disrespectful to her. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I don't think people should make excuses for what she did, but at the same time I don't think people should like dogpile and hate on her as a person, because she's still a human being at the end of the day. So I know I kind of rambled, but hopefully like that made sense, and let me know what you guys think. Anyways, now I'm gonna go off camera to do my mascara because I don't have a drugstore mascara with me right now. I do really like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I like the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. Also not those both also being a L'Oreal, but I ran out of those right now. But yeah, if you're wondering which drugstore mascaras are my favorite, those are my favorite, the L'Oreal ones. I haven't tried the new Mascara Gate one, and I refuse to try it under this hyped circumstance because like L'Oreal right now is in their bag. Like it doesn't matter if you love or hate them, like everyone bought it to try it. So I don't really want to buy into that negative hype, so I'm just not gonna buy the new mascara, at least not anytime soon. Anyways, the mascara I'm going to be using is this Romand one. It's a K-beauty brand, the Hun All Fix mascara. So I'm just going to go off camera to do that and also fill in my brows because I don't have a drugstore brow pencil. So I'll be right back after that. Okay, now I'm back with the mascara all done. I think I made the eyes look so cute. And I also colored in my brows, but we do also have this e.l.f. brow lift to try. So this is like a little putty gel texture. I'm pretty sure it's a dupe for the ABH brow gel. And I also got the brow lift applicator that it comes with. So I actually have been using this for the past like couple weeks and I quite like it. It definitely gives that like laminated brow look, like you can see, or like the soap brow look. It's really easy to use and it's like a soft gel. So the only gripe I have with this is that it doesn't fully dry down ever. Like it still stays soft, which I guess some people will like, but some people won't. The problem with it staying soft is that if I touch it, it could still move. So I feel like throughout the day, it doesn't have like the best hold, you know? I haven't tried the ABH one, so I don't know if the ABH one has better hold or not. Like I do like how it makes my brows look, but I wouldn't use it if you like need a really strong brow gel. But I do like that it makes my brows look very soft and fluffy. Okay, so now we're nearing the end, so I'm moving on to lips. I don't have like a physical drugstore lip liner, but I have this ColourPop one, so I'm just gonna use this one. And this is in the shade BFF. This is like a warm nude shade. I don't own many lip liners, so I always blend it out at the edges. I'm just gonna use this L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick, or it's Color Riche Nude Intense. and it's the shade 173 New Impertinent, or Impertinent. So I'm pretty sure this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Actually, let me swatch it. Let's see if it's actually a dupe. This is the L'Oreal one. It's very creamy. Like, it's definitely more of like a satiny lipstick. So this is Charlotte Tilbury and Pillow Talk. I'm gonna swatch it here. So off the bat, Charlotte Tilbury is a lot more matte. Like, hopefully you can see the L'Oreal Charlotte Tilbury. L'Oreal is shinier, but yeah, the color is very similar. So this is L'Oreal, this is Charlotte Tilbury. I will say Charlotte Tilbury is like the teeniest bit more nude and the teeniest bit like more muted, whereas the L'Oreal one is a little bit brighter, but they're like really similar. So I can see why they're dupes. The only thing is the formula is not the same. Like the L'Oreal one is definitely shinier. Yeah, it's definitely more like a satin lipstick. It's like the satin creamy type. Also, it smells like rose. Has a rose scent. Ooh. That is a really pretty color, but I actually love that. I love the Pillow Talk line, so not surprising. Oh my gosh, like this look, it looks very high end. Like, wouldn't you say? It is kind of giving what needed to be gave. Now let's finish off with this NYX Professional Makeup Matte Finish Setting Spray. So I never tried a matte setting spray. And this is supposed to make your makeup last 16 hours, but I'm not gonna wear test it for that. And I wouldn't wear makeup for 16 hours usually. Yeah, but we'll see if it makes me more matte. I'm gonna try to spray it like only in the center because I don't really want to take away from this glow here. So let's try. Let's, ooh, you guys see that? Let's spray. You know what, like this could actually be a great setting spray for oily skin, and also because I'm oily combo, I only get oily in the T-zone, so I feel like if I just spray it down the center, we're good to go, and I can just leave this part shiny. But also I will say this doesn't have the best setting mister thing, because I normally use like more high-end ones like the Charlotte Tilbury one. They have a much finer mist, but this one it's like kind of like spurting in my face, but not to the point where like it didn't disrupt my makeup or anything. Oh yeah, I can like see the specks of where it landed. I don't know if you guys can see that, but anyways, I'm just like gonna tap over. I'll leave like a little note in the description to see like if it helped control shine at the end of the day. So far I actually do think it is mattifying. Well, my face here was already matte because that's where I powdered. Like I powdered where I set, so it was already matte, so it definitely didn't add any shine. Probably wouldn't recommend for dry skin, like definitely an oily skin girl kind of thing. You know what, I'm just gonna like set my whole face because I want to like wear test this setting spray, and I'll leave it in the comments like how it turned out. Actually, yeah, the mist is pretty powerful. Like I douse my face in this setting spray, so you can see I'm looking shiny, but we're just gonna wait for it to set. But while we're waiting for this to dry down, let's talk about what some of my favorite products are. Out of everything I tried today, the things I would recommend the most are, first I would say this L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. So I'm actually really impressed with this. It does really remind me of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, which is like the main glowy luminizer thing I use. Like there's so many dupes of that now, so I just don't buy any of the new dupes because I already have the Charlotte Tilbury one. But yeah, this one is a great dupe, so to speak. Actually, I don't know which one came out first because this one's pretty old too, right? You guys can let me know in the comments. You can see it added this very like beautiful glowing from within kind of look, and I love that. Like I usually wear these types of things instead of highlighter. That's the first recommendation. I'm gonna be recommending the things I think are as good or better than like high-end and luxury stuff. Secondly, honestly, all the cheek products. Like love this Revlon Tickled Pink blush. This is mostly for the shade, but like the formula is nice too, but it's like a regular powder blush. The shade is gorgeous if you love that baby doll pink cheek look. I definitely think this Maybelline Cheek Heat is a great Glossier Cloud Paint dupe. It just has a really nice formula. It's quite pigmented though, so definitely, you know, use it sparingly. So you do have to like be kind of careful with it, but like I think it's better to just buy this instead of the Glossier Cloud Paint. And then I also was really impressed with this e.l.f. Putty bronzer. I'm not like the biggest bronzer fan, but I really like how it looked on me, and it was like super blendable, super easy to build as well. Just like a really good quality, like high quality product. Also really love this NYX Ultimate Glow Shot. It's just a really nice white glitter topper that you can use for like any situation, and I just really like how that made my eye look turn out. You guys know I love glitter, so this had to be in there. I also tentatively like this NYX matte setting spray. I have to see how it wears. I do think it kind of like mattified my skin, but it actually, it's not like super, it's not a drying matte, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Like it didn't actually mattify this cheek glow highlight situation. So yeah, definitely so far I feel like I recommend this for oily skin girls, but we'll see like if it actually helps control the oil or not. So that's like a tentative yes. And yeah, everything else, there were no flops. The thing I liked the least was probably like this NYX palette, just because like I probably like would not reach for this again. It's just not my color story. The colors that I do like, I feel like I find in other palettes. It's also very subtle, especially in the shimmer department, which you guys know I love glittery shimmers. It's just overall not my fave, but it's not like a bad palette. It's also made definitely like for a specific person who's not me. Definitely like a more everyday makeup person who only wears like browns and stuff, or like wears makeup for like a functional reason, like, you know, to go to work or something, or to go to school. So I wasn't super impressed with this, but it's not bad by any means. As for the e.l.f. complexion products, I do like them, but I just feel like I'm not like super impressed. Like there's nothing bad, but there's nothing amazing either. Like they are good, and I think, you know, if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend money for like the Tarte Shape Tape or the Cosmetic CC cream, like I think these are good alternatives, but it's not really blowing me out of the water. And also something kind of weird happened here in my nose crevice. Can you see that? It kind of like caked up in my nose crevices. I mean, if foundation's gonna act weird, it usually acts weird there for me personally, because I guess that's like the most cracky place in my face. I don't know if that's due to the CC cream or the concealer, because I do add concealer like right there because I have like a lot of broken capillaries and redness there. So not sure which one's the culprit, but definitely like this combo, it's like not ideal. But I do like how it made like the rest of my skin look. Like there's no noticeable issues, and I feel like it did smooth over my pores. But yeah, just nothing to write home about. So those are my thoughts on the affordable makeup I got. Let me know what you guys thought about my haul, and let me know if you want me to try any like other specific affordable makeup products. So that's about it for today. I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment and subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!